Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Obama is done, folks. The Obama admin, and I guess by extension, Joe Biden's legacy, which obviously is already tarnished enough, but the Obama-Biden admin of the past is over. Obama's legacy is finished. I've made videos like this before, and it just keeps piling on top of each other. A lot of people like to cite Libya, Yemen, drone strikes hitting innocent civilians, kids in cages being the deporter-in-chief as the main ways to attack Obama. I think the biggest tarnish to his legacy is Obamagate, and now on top of that, President Trump, or at least the Trump administration, is declassifying official US government intel about the Obama administration that's, let's just say, making Obama look real bad. And so we gotta talk about the dead legacy that is the Obama administration, and I also want to do some comparing and contrasting Obama to, of course, President Donald Trump, and more importantly, talk about the media, because that's probably one of the biggest factors when it comes to setting the stage for the American people that aren't necessarily paying attention. Let's talk about the true election interference, which is the absolute despicable double standard and bias within the media, a topic we very often speak about. So we got a lot to talk about. I got some really interesting stories to show you, but before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. So YouTube, of course, has stunted our ability to grow this channel, and if you want to help, just share the video as much as possible and make sure that you're subbed with notifications on. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright guys, so here's the headliner piece straight from the Post-Millennial, one of my favorite publications. Senate report, Obama Treasury Department approved request to pay group which funds terrorism. And so far, the Obama administration continued spying on Americans with the programs left over from the Bush administration prior, spied on an incoming administration in 2016, tried to undo a duly elected president, bombed kids, started wars, created an unstable environment in the Middle East, caged kids, and now funded and armed terrorists and terrorist organizations across the globe. That's the Obama administration, but let's read on. A report released by the Senate Finance Committee Republican Chairman Chuck Grassley has revealed that the Office of Foreign Assets Control, an office of the Treasury Department, granted a license to a nonprofit which allowed them to transfer money to a group which has been sanctioned by the US government for funding terrorism, Daily Wire reports. The report investigated World Vision, a non-profit evangelical Christian humanitarian organization, for their connections to the Islamic Relief Agency, ISRA. The ISRA was sanctioned by the US government in 2004 after they were caught providing $5 million to Maktab al-Qadamat, Osama bin Laden's to Al-Qaeda, and even working with bin Laden directly. The organization was also caught funding Palestinian terrorism against Israelis. And so many people will give Obama plausible deniability. How could he have known? How could he have known? Sure, but the point is, the Obama administration was so filled with so many crony Washington crooks that this was just a regular day in the park under the Washington status quo administration that was the Obama-Biden administration. What we can instantly refer to is, of course, Fast and Furious, and not Fast and the Furious, the movie, but Fast and Furious, the government operation. Fast and Furious was an operation so cloak and dagger, Mexican authorities weren't even notified that thousands of semi-automatic firearms were being sold to people in Arizona thought to have links to Mexican drug cartels. According to ATF whistleblowers, in 2009, the US government began instructing gun store owners to break the law by selling firearms to suspected criminals. ATF agents then, again, according to testimony by ATF agents turned whistleblowers, were ordered not to intercept the smugglers, but rather to let the guns walk across the US-Mexico border and into the hands of Mexican drug trafficking organizations. And the Obama administration let all of this happen, an armed terrorist organization and drug cartels across the entire world. Now, a lot of people aren't aware of this, but Obama's administration sold more weapons than any other since World War II. And what we're talking about is not weapons being sold within the US, weapons being exported abroad. Many were sold to the Middle East, especially Saudi Arabia. And so when I say arming terrorists, I literally mean arming terrorists. And the question is, with all of this scandal and everything that's been going on under the Obama administration, everything connected to him and by virtue connected to Biden at the same time, where's the coverage? If this happened under the Trump administration, it'd be the biggest story since Watergate. Well, it seems like everything's the biggest thing since Watergate if it involves the name Trump. But of course, we know there's an absolutely despicable media bias in the direction of Democrats. And let's really put that into perspective. I have the perfect video which surfaced today to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We just covered the story yesterday of Jim Acosta literally admitting that he will treat Joe Biden a whole lot different than he treated President Donald Trump, and he'll use a less cavalier, crusading journalist tactics. At least he said something along those lines. Well, watch this video of Jim Acosta interacting with President Obama during a White House press event.
What some people are calling your best week ever last week. You had two Supreme Court decisions supportive of the Affordable Care Act and of gay rights. You also delivered a speech down in Charleston that was pretty warmly received. It seems that you've built up some political capital for the remaining months of your presidency. I'm curious how you want to use it.
Now just let that sink in. That's Jim Acosta, the same Jim Acosta that you've been seeing making an absolute fool of journalism in the modern day, going after President Trump in the most despicable, petty manner imaginable. But when speaking to Biden, when speaking to Obama, have you ever seen that kind of brown-nosing in your entire life? I've never seen anything like it. And so when the president was calling out the press for asking Joe Biden about what flavor ice cream he chose when coming out of a candy shop instead of asking Joe Biden about the most recent massive scandal involving his son, he had a point now, didn't he? And once again, let's continue talking about media bias. We have media bias, of course, in the direction of Democrats, powdering their little bum-bums at every point and turn. And of course, the media, as despicable as this sounds, American media also has a bias in the direction of China. Revealed, Trump was briefed on intelligence claiming China put bounties on US soldiers in Afghanistan. The Trump administration has reportedly declassified intelligence that accuses China of offering to put bounties on US soldiers based in Afghanistan. And of course, this is very familiar. Who remembers not too long ago where there was a massive scandal during the election cycle that the president was briefed about Russia putting bounties on American soldiers and he did nothing about it, which was a complete phony story, and the president was actually never briefed and was completely unaware of this intelligence, but they used the story of Russia doing that to attack the president. Now, apparently, China is doing the exact same thing in Afghanistan, and the media doesn't really seem to care. In fact, I really wouldn't be surprised if they use this once again to go after President Trump and say he didn't act or he didn't do this or that, when clearly the issue is not the president, it's China once again, potentially acting in the most despicable of nature. But they don't care, they will run defense while China runs laps around the absolute incompetence that inhabit the halls of Washington, that populate the government of the United States of America and frankly the Western world as a whole. China is trying to steal our lunch.
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man.
But the media is complicit and is just happy letting it happen and won't even cover. Why? Because they benefit from it. It's pretty much that simple, folks. The same media conglomerates that own all of these media outlets like Comcast and others have a very serious stake and serious interest in the Chinese market. It's the same thing like you see from sports leagues, especially the NBA, which is so widely watched and beloved in China. That connection makes it very obvious why their players, specifically LeBron James, is such a hypocrite when he talks about slavery and civil rights and human rights, but refuses to call out the dictatorial communist Chinese regime. But that's what I got for you guys. Obama's legacy is finished, folks. I mean, just the track record that I've listed at least a couple times in this video should pretty much cement that for everyone. And thanks to the internet and thanks to people spreading actual real information and understanding the dynamics and the contrast, despite the media's constant misinformation and bias, pretending as if Obama is some sort of deity and the greatest president of all time, people are starting to get it. And it's also no surprise that with all of these revelations over the last couple of years and people starting to understand exactly what and who Obama was, it's no surprise that President Donald Trump is now the most admired man in America and broke President Obama's 12-year reign of that title in the Gallup survey. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now I gotta get back to work because there's a whole lot of hypocrisy that must be exposed on a daily basis. You guys know the drill. It's a daily gig, so I'm gonna get to that. I wanna thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.